The definition of Gentile, a surname, sometimes surprises people because of the usage has been around for such a long time, and most people don't realize that their last name or the surname has a Gentile meaning to it, and therefore when someone says the last name or energizes it, endorses it, it becomes that for that individual. They now are under that title and they're endorsing that title, and therefore they're saying, this is who I am. So when we look at the definition of Christian name, which would be opposite, it states in Samuel Johnson's dictionary of 1755, the name given at the baptism or the font, distinct from the gentilitious name or surname. Now, when we go to gentilitious or Gentile in Samuel Johnson's dictionary, it starts off in definition as one of an uncovenanted nation, one who knows not the true God. So by stating the fact that I bear a surname and I'm going to energize that and endorse that, I've now become a pseudo-Christian, and I've also become a pseudo-debtor, because you really weren't a debtor. You became a debtor by assumption and presumption. So the Gentile name certainly does not have a good end, because it is inferring the fact that you belong to a nation that has no covenant with God. And that's why there is no Christian flag at any of the foreign diplomatic offices, because the fact is that these are Gentile nations. They have nothing to do with spirituality or the true God. There are many forms of government, but they're certainly not a theocracy. So Christians today, because they have become accustomed to energizing and deeming themselves to be a member of an uncovenanted nation, and therefore they would require to have a tag name that would energize that very thing and solidify that for their activity. So I know it's very difficult sometimes to get our head around this. We're not here trying to attack anybody, but even the Oxford Dictionary, which is the 20-volume set that I've been researching, gives a lot of really good examples of Gentile. One time it says the word gentilize, which is to give a Gentile character to. In other words, it is a character. It's an actor in there, and it has, of course, a character name. So surnames are the character of a Gentile. Then it says to gentilize is nothing else but to play the part of a Gentile. So when someone has a surname, they're playing the part of a Gentile, or they're playing the part of someone who has no covenant with God. To live like a Gentile or a heathen, to conform to the Gentile customs and practices, which, certainly makes sense when we're really looking at what people are actually doing by, basically, shall we say, identifying themselves with those last names. Then it says gentility. Let him forsake a decent craft that he may pursue the gentilities of a profession. There is nothing so vulgar as gentility. So these are quotes out of Oxford's dictionary. It's not giving us a good feel for the use of these surnames. When we basically lead in, we also get to gentilitious, and of course it even spells surname as S-I-R, because that's originally what it was, and that's why they were always referred to you as dear sir, which means dear surname. And it also says it is a gentilitious appellation. So it's a title that we have taken on, and therefore we are saying, I am not a Christian, I am a Gentile. And therefore, no covenant for you, no protection for you, and you've now entered into the public realm, and therefore you're part of the collective and not distinctly known as the property of Jesus Christ. So we have to really do the research and understand that we have really entered into a fraud, and therefore that being a lie, that being fictitious, leads into the whole concept of why these legal fiction surnames exist in the Gentile world.